There's something else at work here, I said. I think you were right about the demon theory. But I have to figure it out, so your family can be at peace again. No, said Phil. We'll just go back to our rituals. Yes, the rituals start back up in a few minutes, I said. I'm going to bind your hands and take you to the safe house now. Bind my what? That way you can't perform the ritual, I said. So I can try a few more experiments. No! Phil screamed. You can't do that! You saw what he'll do to them. I don't think he's going to hurt them anymore, I said. Now, come on, let's go. No! Phil sobbed. No! You can't do this! He continued sobbing and shouting into the Apple Watch until we exited the office and returned to the lobby. That was good, Phil, I said quietly. You could be an actor, you know. Thanks, he said. So now, they'll think they still have control of their investment, and they'll wait for me, instead of taking someone else? That's right, I said. And I can keep monitoring them until we get enough evidence to send to the FBI. I really think we can get enough of a case here to open a major investigation. What about Anne and Rose? Asked Eleanor. I doubt they'll keep hurting each other, I said quickly. Not if they know this could go on indefinitely. No, I mean they'll come into your office, said Eleanor. They'll want to know where he is. Let me handle that, I said. I'm quite good at telling people what they want to hear, as long as I know their motives. And thanks to you, now I do. They both nodded. Phil, there's just one more question I have, I said. Why did you come to me in the first place? To therapy? Yes. He looked down, ashamed. Anne suggested it, because I felt suicidal after Eleanor left, he said. I thought it was because Anne cared about me, but apparently she just wanted to make sure her second investment didn't die. Eleanor turned to me. They probably thought they could trick you with their digital hallucinations too. That way you'd confirm their story, and Dad would have no doubts left in his mind. I bit my lip, hard. I hated these people. Suddenly there was a stirring from behind the desk. Oh God, Noah! I hurried over to him. What happened? He asked in a daze. Nothing, I said quickly. You just passed out. He furrowed his brows and thought for a second. You hit me. I huffed. Yes, well, I said stiffly. Be that as it may, we've determined you are no longer a threat. He crossed his arms and glared at me. Sorry to interrupt, said Phil. But I think Eleanor and I are going to leave before it gets much later. The shelters tend to fill up fast. Oh no, I said. Please, come stay with me for a while. The guest rooms are already made up. And you'll be so much safer there. I have quite an elaborate home security system. That's what happens when you work with stalkers, and the darker personality disorders. I don't know, said Phil. I don't want to impose. You're not imposing, I said. I would love to have you. You can sleep all day, and then I'll cook a big holiday dinner tonight. I make the best turnips you've ever had. Turnips? Eleanor raised her eyebrows. Trust me, I smiled. Phil and Eleanor looked at each other and did some sort of father-daughter communication with their eyes. Then Phil nodded. We'd love to. Thank you. Noah cleared his throat. His arms were still crossed. Oh, right, I said. Noah, I'm sorry for punching you. He continued glaring at me. And I'm sorry for calling you stupid. He didn't let up. I sighed and rolled my eyes. Noah, would you like to join us for dinner tonight? Finally, he broke into a huge grin. Awesome. Wait a minute, I said. Why didn't your calls go through to Eleanor? I don't know, he said. I dialed it in, just like you taught me at orientation, with 661 at the beginning. I sighed loudly and pressed my fingers into my eyes. 5. Huh? It's 5, not 6. I let out a deep breath. Jesus. So, Noah wasn't a cult member after all. Just a cartoonishly dumb assistant who took an inappropriate interest in my patients. Honestly, I think I would have preferred cult Noah. People always assume my house is cold and dark, but it's actually quite cozy, especially around Christmas. I love the lights, decorations, all of it. It's a nice contrast from my otherwise bleak days. We sat around the table as Joy to the World rang in the background. At our side, the tree twinkled with hundreds of gold ornaments and lights. I closed my eyes and smiled. Good food, good music, and good people. If there was any purpose to life, this had to be it. You know, said Noah through a full mouth, I had a feeling it was a cult. Compared to the way Noah ate, you'd never guess Phil and Eleanor were the ones living on the street. He was already on his third plate. You thought it was a demon, I snapped. Yeah, but that was my third guess, he said. Before that, it was mafia and cult. Whatever, I grumbled. Eleanor, please put your phone away at dinner, said Phil. I looked over and saw her tapping away. Wait, check this out, she said. They posted on the forum again. I leaned forward, curious to hear more. And in Rose? Yes, she said. They posted about how Dad got involuntarily committed, and how he's unable to perform his rituals. They asked if they should keep up the facade and continue hurting each other until he's released. Did anyone respond? Asked Phil. A bunch of people, she said. They're crazy. The top comment says it's better to get stabbed a few times now, than to start all over with a new investment, because new investments will mess up the ritual a few times anyways. Another says to keep at it, because the investment will probably ask to see the new wounds when he gets out. And then this guy wrote, sounds like he still loves you. I would keep going if possible. Save the footage to show him when he gets out. He'll feel so guilty that he'll never leave you again. That's nuts. Phil shook his head. Eleanor, please put away your phone. Dr. Harper put together this nice dinner for us. It's crazy, she said, biting into a forkful of steak. Everyone told them to keep at it. I seriously think they're just going to keep stabbing each other indefinitely. That's the idea, I muttered under my breath as I scooped some potatoes onto my plate. Yeah, I wrote those comments. And a few more. Like I said before, revenge is petty. But sometimes justice needs a little nudge in the right direction. Noah, could you please pass the turnips? If you like this story, smash the like button, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to be notified on the latest videos, hit that notification bell.